As far as the comments about the Iraq War go, I'm sorry if you believe that because you pay taxes, you fund the Iraq War. That, in a stretch, is true. However, you cannot directly relate the taxes you paid to those armored vehicles that are hurting people, to the weapons that are killing people. You cannot directly link your private funds to this. However, if this bill goes through, the people who do make a certain amount will be able to directly link their taxes to this bill. They will have their tax go up. This percentage of the tax that will go up, will go directly to healthcare. They will have a direct effect, not an indirect, to the Iraq War. And your money, their money, will have a direct effect, going back to give these people who cannot pay for themselves and do not seem to have any desire to move along so that they can pay for themselves. It'll pay for them. It'll give them the free ride that they're looking for. And what better drive, or what better push than to keep you in that position? If I don't have to work and I get free coverage, completely free coverage, and I get full coverage beyond that, why should I go get a job in which I'm going to have to start paying into that system when I can sit here, do nothing, and reap all the benefits? This brings me to my point that I am not against this bill. I think the premise is wonderful. I'm against this version. I'm against this time and this place. The premise is great. It's a great idea. The problem comes because we have so many other social programs that do not run efficiently. I'm sorry if you believe that Medicare is 95% efficient, 25% more is what he claims than any other form. But that's not true. Medicare's bankrupt. Social Security is bankrupt. Why is it bankrupt? Well, Social Security is bankrupt because of political plunderers. They took our money and spent it on war. Not your tax money. Everyone's Social Security fund is what they spent to fund wars. And this goes back way, way back to Kennedy. This goes back to anyone who had any war after World War II. Social Security helped pay for it. Your claim that people who make this much money resent having to pay. They don't resent having to pay. They resent being the only ones who have to pay. If you make this much money, now here's all these other people, but you make this much, you have to pay for all of them. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You know what? Why don't we just say, if you are a Anglican male, you have to pay for college for everyone in the country. You have to subsidize their college costs because you are an Anglican male. That's ridiculous. You cannot tax a specific group to pay for everyone's bill. That is not American. That is not how we run things. That is not how we have ever run things or were set up to run our programs, especially our taxes. Another claim that was made in the Young Turks video was that because this man that phoned in makes more money, he owes it. He owes it back to the country to pay for all these people. Last time I checked, this is a capitalist country. You don't owe someone for how much money you make. If you made the money, then kudos to you. You did your job, you persevered, and you deserve to reap the benefits from the money you've made. Not the person down the street who has minimum wage job, works 20 hours a week, sits around, and has kids. That's not the person who deserves the money that you put in 60 hours a week for. You put in the 60 hours a week. You took out the time from your personal life that they were adding to theirs. They could have been taking their time and working more than 20 hours a week, more than 40 hours a week, or maybe pursuing a higher education, their GED, to make more. Even their GED would have them make more than minimum wage. An associate's degree, a certificate program. There are so many ways to increase your value, which is basically your value to your employer. Your employer will pay you more if you are qualified to earn it. If you don't put yourself out there and push to become qualified, why do you deserve more money? And a long time ago they figured out, guess what? If you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to get more money. You're not going to be that person that is making $250,000 a year because you didn't put in the time to get your master's degree. You didn't put in the time to get your maybe bachelor's degree even. So the alternative? Well, I have a pretty comfortable job that I only have to work 20 hours a week in, and I get paid minimum wage, which covers some of my bills, most of them anyways. You know what? Wouldn't that be great if there was a program from the government that I could just sign up for and they sent me a check?